SPX6900 is one of the few outperformers today. Most tokens on Ethereum are going down, but SPX6900 is going up. What's behind this? Who's buying here? Who's selling here? Let's have a look at the on-chain metrics most people are not considering. Now have a look at this list. This shows the trending token on Ethereum ordered by their liquidity. And pretty much everything is red except SPX6900, which is up 33% today. This month, the token more than doubled, and this year it went up by more than 2000%. Now this is not the first video on SPX6900 on its channel. This is actually video number 7. There's been 6 videos before, and the first video actually did not perform that well. It performed pretty much average. It was published 114 days ago when the price was still 11 cents. Since then we went up by more than 1000%. And so I try to be early on this channel, right? I look for meme coins that have positive momentum, but that still have enough upside potential as well. So if you want to be early next time, feel free to subscribe over here, right? I publish videos regularly. Now let's have a look at the on-chain metrics now for SPX6900. Who's buying here? Is there still organic growth? On-chain, we've almost got 34,000 holders. But not all of those holders are created equal, right? Some of them might just own a few cents of the token, while others might hold hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of the token. And so that's why I like to split this up. I like to look at the number of retail investors versus whale investors based on minimum holding thresholds. So to be counted for a wallet in this left chart, the wallet has to hold at least 1,000 SPX6900 tokens. To be counted for the chart in the middle, it's 10,000 tokens. To be counted on the right, it's 100,000 tokens. And so we've got the whales on the right, we've got retail on the left, and those are very long-term charts, right? They start in August of 2023. But let's have a look at what happened in the last month, where the price more than doubled. Instead of looking at the daily chart, we can have a look at the hourly chart for the last 30 days. The number of retail investors continued to grow by roughly 6%. The number of medium-sized wallets with 10,000 tokens went pretty much flat, and the number of whale wallets actually went down, and that's by around 2%. Now there are different explanations for a potential decline like this. It does not necessarily have to mean that the token gets sold by the whales. This can also be just transfers to centralized exchanges, where then there might be cheaper trading fees, because most trading actually doesn't happen on chain anymore. It happens on Bybit and on Gate.io. Now it's interesting that 2 weeks ago the number of new users suddenly shot up for SPX6900. So that's what we see on the left. We had a spike on the 3rd of January and now we are slowing down again. The price also went up on the 3rd of January, but interestingly enough, it continued to rally, while again on chain we did not see more growth of new holders. On the right we see the number of new users versus returning users per day, so normalized to 100%. This tends to be somewhat balanced. Now since Bitcoin hit 100k, it has a pretty hard time climbing. We actually tended to see lower highs and lower lows in the last weeks. And at the same time, there isn't any more money flowing into crypto. This is the stablecoin market cap over the last weeks. And if this continues for too long, then things could potentially turn around again and we could start another bear market. Now what happened over here was the Terra Luna collapse, right? This is when the Anchor protocol went bust, when the UST stablecoin imploded. It started a bear market that lasted for more than a year, during which also FTX collapsed. But then in October of 2023, we turned around. But now it seems like the market has a hard time expanding further. It's truly becoming player versus player again. Now when there's altcoin season, we can buy pretty much any cryptocurrency and they all double and triple. But I'm not sure how close that is. Have a look at the others dominance. So this shows how much of all of crypto is in the altcoins that are not in the top 10. And yes, this tends to rise over time and the current risk to reward doesn't look too bad. But have a look at the inverse of that, the Bitcoin dominance. When the Bitcoin dominance is very high and it then subsequently crashes, that's when there's altcoin season, right? The altcoins become more important. Bitcoin becomes in turn less important. Now there's been 2 major altcoin seasons in the past. One happened at the end of 2017. The other happened at the beginning of 2021. So it's marked here by those yellow circles. Here is the long-term Bitcoin price with those same yellow circles. So when did altcoin season happen in the past? It happened after we had already a massive bull run in Bitcoin. So Bitcoin made its multiple X returns from the last bear market. And when Bitcoin was very high and when people wondered what's the next Bitcoin, that's then when the altcoins went off. Now the question is the current bull market enough? Last time when we started altcoin season, we went up by almost 1,000%. This time we went up by only 500% roughly. We are a little bit in no man's land. It seems like we're in a similar situation to September of 2018. So that's here, this red circle, right? We are pretty much at the same level in Bitcoin dominance. We are not at those extreme heights where more than 70% of the crypto market is Bitcoin. We are still just at 58% dominance. And so really navigating a time like this is relatively hard. It's more important to really have an edge in the market, to know more than the average market participant, to buy the assets that other winners are buying as well. Just have a look at how confused the market currently is. The best category within crypto in the last 7 days was AI frameworks. But the worst performing category was AI memes. So we can't say that everything AI is going up. Returns are getting more and more concentrated in just a few winners. If you make a 10x, then 9 other people have to lose pretty much everything. It's zero sum right now. The market isn't expanding in the last weeks. And so here is how I navigate the situation. I'm tracking other influencers that tend to make very good trades. For example, here, Kyle Chessy. Kyle Chessy bought the GOAT token at 14 cents. So that was over here. Subsequently, the price went up by more than 800%. But it's important to also take profit, because once attention moves to the next token and the price goes down, we are now only at 33 cents again. You want to be early. You don't want to buy into a token where attention tends to decline. Or here, another Kyle Chessy purchase, Fartcoin at 5 cents. Again, a very, very nice run, more than 3,000%. But now attention is declining again, right? It's player versus player. The assets aren't growing that quickly anymore. One more Kyle Chessy purchase at 0.3 cents. 13 comments. Now Griffane is at 44 cents. So a 14,000% gain. And so this is what the game is all about. It's about buying things when not a lot of people know about this. It's about buying things when the insiders start to get in, when the top traders start to get in. Now I've talked about Kyle Chessy now several times. Here is his YouTube channel. He's got 142,000 subscribers. And the reason why we know what he's buying is because we track his wallets. We've got 12 of his wallets where we get signals whenever he's buying or selling something. But we're not just tracking Kyle Chessy. We are also tracking Alex Becker. He's got 1.5 million subscribers. When he talks about a token, of course this generates attention, and attention turns into purchases. We've got 12 of Alex Becker's wallets. Or here we've got Crypto Banter. They've got 1.1 million subscribers. And we've got 33 of their wallets. And so how can we be early? We can be early by buying the things when all the top people are getting in. And so of course now it's more important than ever to be part of this inner circle, right? To not just buy something random on a list, because I'm not sure how close altcoin season really is. Now of course not every trade that an influencer makes will make thousands of percent, because especially the larger tokens, they need a lot of capital to move the price. But the smaller tokens, they are more high risk but also more high reward. And so I really like this strategy. I like the strategy of trying to find other influencer wallets, because the influencers of course don't post this officially. We have to use on-chain analytics to find them. And so I've made several videos. First of all, how can we find those wallets, but then also how can we track the wallets? How can we get alerts whenever they buy or sell? And then how can we interpret the alerts that we get from the tracking? It's all part of the premium membership of this channel. Premium is not just about wallet tracking. It's also about on-chain analytics. It's also about risk management. There's more than 100 videos in total. So feel free to check it out. It's currently $165 per month. There's also a 1-week money back guarantee. So in case you don't like premium, just message me within the first week and I'll refund you 100%. There's really zero risk for you. Now, does it still make sense to buy SPX6900? I think the attention pretty much comes in waves. When there's a lot of eyes on the token, then of course a lot of people buy the token as well. And when it's rather calm, then the price tends to rather bleed. Now have a look at the number of buyers and sellers over time. On the left side, that's in absolute numbers. On the right side, that's again normalized to 100%. And we can clearly see those waves, right? You want to buy when there's very little attention, when there's only a few buyers and sellers. And you want to potentially sell when the attention is very high. So it would have been great, for example, to buy in April of 2024. So that's over here on the chart. Now, in the last 2 to 3 weeks, we had another spike, so we might again trend somewhat lower. However, it seems like over time, there's less and less sellers and more buyers, relatively speaking. So even though the attention is high, this seems to be justified because the buying pressure is pretty constant. I think the main driver for a continued rally will be more centralized exchange listings. Because yes, there is Maxi, Qcoin, Gate.io and Bybit, but there's no Binance, for example, yet. Now let's look at relative market caps. SPX6900 is at the bottom with 1.3 billion, and a 2x from here would bring it above Bonk. Probably beyond this, the air is getting somewhat thin because it's very hard to beat Pepe, Shiba Inu and Dogecoin. So probably the upper limit is around the $3 mark. If you got some value out of this video, feel free to subscribe. I publish videos regularly. A like would be very much appreciated as well. It helps the channel grow. See you in the next video or see you in premium. Cheers.